Hey guys, welcome back to another tutorial. In this video, we are going to learn how to create a virtual machine in AWS. Now, if you're new to AWS, you can create a free account by clicking in the link in the YouTube description box. Once you've logged into AWS, make sure that you have selected the correct region for you. I'm based in Sydney, so this is perfect for me, but based on where you're located, you may need to select a region where that is mostly appropriate for your resource creation. So I'm going to leave Sydney as my region or Asia Pacific. And let's go ahead and try to look for the virtual machines feature. Now in AWS, it is called EC2 or Elastic Cloud Computing. So let me just go to the search bar and type EC2. Under services, you will see EC2. So click on EC2. And to the left hand side, you will see instances. So this is where basically all your virtual machines will be located. So once you're on instances, click on launch instances to create your virtual machine. Now in AWS, you do not have a concept of resource groups like in Microsoft Azure if you're coming from Microsoft Azure background, just like myself. So in here, you will have to rely on tags to sort of group your resources in AWS. But for this tutorial, I'm not going to create tags. You can call it anything. I'm just going to call it web server. Now, under applications and OS images, you will need to pick your operating system. So it will default into Amazon Linux. Obviously, you have all the popular operating systems in here. So for this tutorial, I am going to create a Windows Server virtual machine. So I've selected Windows in here. In this drop-down menu, you will be able to select the specific operating system for your requirements. So I'm going to go ahead with Server 2022. So I've selected that. And in here, you will see some information about the architecture and the published date and so forth. Just bear in mind that this is going to be the local username for your virtual machine. It's going to be administrator. Now, instance type, this is where you will select the number of virtual CPUs and the RAM that your virtual machine is going to have. Obviously, the higher the specs, the more credits will be used or the more money that you will pay. I'm going to click on this drop down menu and select something with 2 virtual CPUs and 4 gigs of memory. So let me just click on that. That should be fine. Now, key pair login. Now, this concept is somewhat different from what you see in Microsoft Azure. Regardless of whether you create a Windows virtual machine or a Linux-based virtual machine, you still have to go ahead and create a new key pair. As it states here, for Windows instances, you use a key pair to decrypt the administrator password. You then use the decrypted password to connect to your instance. Just bear in mind that regardless of the operating system that you use, Windows or Linux, you will have to create a key pair. So let me just click create new key pair. I'm going to call it web server key pair. Okay, and then just click create key pair. And this is going to download a .pem file to your local computer. Now, let me just scroll down. In here, you will see your virtual network settings or VPC in AWS language. So you can click the edit button in here to change the address space or select a specific subnet or select an availability zone. I'm going to assign public IP address and it's the default setting. So I'm just going to leave it as it is. Now, you will see a security group option in here. So by default, it is going to create you a security group. Now, if you come from Microsoft Azure background, this is a network security group. So you can give it a name. So I'm going to call it WebSG1. I don't think you can have spaces. So let's give it a dash. Okay. And in here, you can specify your inbound and outbound connectivity. So I'm going to allow RDP inbound from my home public IP address so I can securely connect to my virtual machine. So make sure to change the source type to my IP or custom if you would like to whitelist any public IP addresses, making inbound connections to your virtual machine. Now in here, you will be able to configure your storage. I'm going to leave it as it is. If you would like to add a new data disk, you can click on add new volume to add that as well. Now under advanced settings, I'm just going to quickly show you a couple of settings in here. You will be able to domain join this virtual machine directly if you already have a Windows Active Directory. This is a brand new environment, so I'm not going to do that, but you still have the option to do that in here as well. And over here, you've got a couple of settings for auto recovery, shutdown behavior, stop hibernate behavior. So you're welcome to click on this info icon to explore or learn more about these functions. I'm just gonna not do any of these advanced settings for this tutorial. So let me just collapse that. And once you're confident that you've selected the correct settings for your virtual machine, you can click launch instance to create your virtual machine. Even though you will get this success tag or success banner almost immediately after clicking launch instances, it will still take a couple of minutes for the actual virtual machine to be created. So just be patient, wait for about 5 minutes, and generally speaking, it should be done within 5 minutes. Once you have created your virtual machine, you can click on connect to instance in here, or what you can do is you can go back to EC2 and click on instances. Okay, so once your virtual machine is up and running, you can go into your virtual machine and make sure that it is selected by ticking this checkbox here. And after you do that, the connect button will become active. So click on connect. And since this is a Windows virtual machine, we're going to use the RDP client. So I'm going to click RDP client, and then I'm going to download the remote desktop file to my local computer. Once you have downloaded the RDP file, double click on it to initiate your RDP connection. And I'm going to tick this so it doesn't ask me again for the connections to the server. One less step to worry about in the future. And I'm going to click connect. Now in here, we have to put the password. Now I'm going to show you how to retrieve your administrator password in AWS. As you can see, you've got get password option here. So click on that. And what you need to do is you need to upload the private key, which got downloaded to your local computer during the creation of this virtual machine. So I'm going to go ahead and click upload private key file, and then just double click on it to select the file to upload. So the private key has been uploaded, and now click on decrypt password, and after that you will see your password in here. So I'm going to copy that password and I'm going to paste it in my RDP window and click OK. I'm going to tick this checkbox so it's not going to ask me again when connecting to this server, and then click yes. And after a couple of seconds, you should be connected to your newly created virtual machine in AWS. I hope you learned something new by watching this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Until then, take care and have a good day.